Today we're talking about 3 scratch techniques that I think you should use to make your mixes sound better and you'll be a better DJ. Let's get into it. Number 1 is the chirp. So I use a chirp. I'm going to show you the technique first. This is how it sounds. So you're starting with the fader open. This is very important. Most scratch techniques you're starting closed, but you got to start open. As soon as you hear the sound, you close the fader. And then you just do the exact same thing in reverse. Open the fader, pull back. So once you hear the sound, you're closing. And you're kind of moving your hands in opposite directions when you're doing this. So that's the chirp. The way I use a chirp most of the time is to clean up the edges of the sound. So if you're dropping a kick drum, like on the 1, normally you do like a baby scratch. But if you do a chirp, it cleans up that sound. So this is without the chirp. And then with the chirp. Just cleans up that sound a little bit. All right, scratch number 2, tears. This is actually a faderless scratch, so you don't use the crossfader at all. You're just using your record hand. The way you do it is you're causing a gap in the sound with your hand. So normally it's 1 forward and 2 back. So it's that's a tear. You can also do 2 forward, 1 back. And then you can do 2 forward, 2 back. And that's a little more complicated. All I ever do is 1 forward, 2 back. So then normally how I use tears is if you're mixing out of a song, and let's say you have some vocal part, you just grab that and you do a tear and you fade down. And it almost gives like that echo effect, so I use that quite a bit. Okay, scratch number 3, transforms. All you're doing with this is normally with a very long sound, you're cutting up the fader and letting it ride. So you're basically using your thumb kind of like a spring against the fader, and you're punching with these 1 or 2 fingers to open it up. And then normally when I use this scratch is if you're just kind of showing off and you want to do something cool and you have a long sound, like say someone's singing or a guitar part, or like in the song Pursuit of Happiness, there's a big synth buildup with like these big long synths and you just cut it up. So that's how I use transform scratch, and you can get crazy with it. All right, now here's a little bonus tip. What you can do once you get your chirps down and you're perfect, and then you have your tears down, you can combine them and do a combo scratch. I call it chirp tears. So basically, you're starting with your fader open like a normal chirp. As soon as you hear that sound, you're shutting it off. And then on the back part, you're doing a tear. So close it. And when you practice that and do it fast, this is how it's going to sound. It's kind of that triplet sound. So you're just doing 1 forward, 2 back with the chirp. So I hope you liked the video. This is 3 scratch techniques that I think you can use to make your mixes sound better. Like and subscribe to the video, and we'll catch y'all later.